Um, I don't know whether to say I'm in a bad mood because I don't feel that it's true, but I need to express something about the way that I spend my mornings, and this is just for right now. This at the moment. This is just for yesterday morning and this morning. It's like bad moods. I mean, it's not a bad mood. It's saying like negative things, oh fuck this, fuck that, oh fucking you know. Um and I expect this to go. It's gone on for about an hour, so I expect it to go on for about another hour. And what happens is, yeah, I've got a mukbang. I'm gonna do like just a small pot of fruit, but like, what happens is, yeah, is I'll do it for a while, right, and then there will be a change, and that change is that when I have a normal thought, negative thought, normal thought, that I've been having for like, let's say I do it for 2 hours every morning, yeah. I have a normal negative thought, yeah, but it will bring an energy of like, it's almost like I can feel my mind programming itself to to see the world around me in a more negative way, you know? And it's weird because this this will not happen for 2 hours, you know? This change in my mind, it won't like say like for example I slowly over 2 hours start to embody more and more of like seeing the world in kind of like a negative way, but that's not how it works. I'll bitch and moan for like 2 hours and I'll be positive. My outlook on life and the world will be positive, but like after about 2 hours, I'm just going by what happened yesterday. um I could feel it, because it's my mind. I can feel it. If you can feel anything, you can feel what's going on in your mind. You know what I mean? And I could feel I want to use the word perception. I could feel my outlook on the world around me, the way the world works. Because there are two things at play here. There's like the system, the rules, the law, like a CV. For example, a CV is a system. You have to use like power words in a CV. That's a system. And then the other thing is people, and it's starting to see both. Start my awareness being coloured with negativity towards both of those things, and and I've watched enough positivity. I mean, Elise is my major one. I haven't watched her since she started eating meat. But I watched her for about 2 years, from when she had her dreads cut off till, I don't know, 2 years from then, and I got so much sort of like information and knowledge and awareness, because information and knowledge, they create awareness, about like positivity. She's a very positive person, right? And she does a positive. she does a positivity every day. She'll get a pad and pen out and she'll write down positive things and gratitude as well, things to be grateful for. So that's just an example, right, of how I know that when my thoughts start to turn, when I start to feel my mind programming itself to see the world in like a more negative way, because like Stella Ray proved with logic. I mean, this is fucking amazing. If I was going to recommend any video out of the whole of YouTube, right now, I would recommend Stella Ray's video on, I don't know what it's called. I might have a look, I might have a look and put it in the comments, but like, it it's about 2 years old, and it's fucking unreal because she proves with logic that positivity works. It's unreal. And I don't. That's just shook me so much. I don't even know what I'm saying now. So like, I want the way I see the world has to be positive, because I need to believe, right? I need to believe, for example, like, this is something I learned, like, when I started taking clonazepam, that people are generally good, that people generally have good intentions, etc., etc. Obviously, you get a broad spectrum of people, from bad to good, but generally, people are good. People work, because they want to be give. It's not giving. It's just being self-sufficient. It's I'll say this. What I mean, what it's obvious, isn't it? Do I need to say any more? Working is good because you're paying for everything that you buy. You're paying for everything that you buy yourself by working hard. You're doing that, and everybody's working, so people are generally good. And that's not to like separate people who are working and people who are not working, and saying like only people who are working are good. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving it as an example of something positive that the majority of people do, as an example of just one example of why people are generally good. I just want to make that clear, because I do work, but I don't work full time. So I just want to throw that in, and yeah, I'm not gonna go digging myself a hole on this one or anything. I'm just gonna I'll go straight into the mukbang actually. So I've explained what I haven't touched on really is the reason I will be negative in the morning for a couple of hours, and it's because I had this experience where, no, I need to put it a different way. I just need to put it in terms of like what I believe, and not explain anything. I think my left thigh is slightly longer than my right, which makes the camera kind of wonky sometimes. I have to shift my position. So shit, what am I on about? Right. It's my belief, and this is just for me, I'm not talking about other people's minds here. I do not know other people's minds, I think if one thing is true, it is that the biggest, um, how do I put this? I'm struggling here. There are more differences in people's minds and how people use their minds than there are differences in most things, you know. But so I'll just speak for me, which is that um, what am I saying? I'm talking about why I go into negativity. It's because I feel that it reduces my stress level. Um, you know how like I went on the internet, yeah, and I looked up assertiveness. It just came into my awareness, assertiveness, and I thought I want to find out what that is. You know, I want to find out about it. So I googled it, and it says it reduces stress and anger. You know, assertiveness. Um, and me bitching, right, about anything and everything, really, for a couple of hours in the morning is kind of like being assertive, you know. Um, it's me standing up for myself, just to myself, you know, and allowing myself to feel that some things are bad. But that's not the point I'm making. The point the point I'm making is that yes, it because it's assertiveness, it reduces stress, but um, I mean, a big part of it is, to be real, that it reduces stress. But what it does is it actually helps my psychosis. And I know that is huge. I realize what I'm saying, and like I say, I'm only talking about my own story here, but it reduces my psychosis, and it can even, you know, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, you know, explaining it in a very sort of vague way, but like, it can even take me from a very psychotic state of mind and put me right back down into reality. It's happened once. And after it happened that one time, I learnt that lesson, and I just started to allow myself to think about shit. You know? Um so there's all this stuff on the internet about positivity, you know, but I feel that I just feel called to like mention that a couple of hours in the morning, I mean, and I think that it helps that I'm on my own. I mean, nobody wants to listen to me bitching, you know. Um I don't know, maybe they do. But like, I'm on my own for a couple of hours in the morning, and I'm negative. Not in like a nasty, you know, saying like, I mean, I did say something mean about someone. I did, someone I know. And we're not friends, we're not close, you know, so it's not like I'm a demon or anything. Um, but like, I don't know. Yeah, there's all this stuff on the internet about positivity, yeah. On the channels that I've been watching, right, for the last 3 years, because I started watching YouTube for like spirituality and self-help from like the moment I moved in here, which was 3 years ago. And I know that positivity is not a joke, okay? And I know that came out the wrong way. But, so, you know, I know that positivity is just, I mean, how do I put this? It's such a powerful thing. Obviously, because it's positivity, it's such a positive thing, you know. It changes people's lives. It reprograms the mind to be more aware of how things really are instead of just seeing things as, I mean, lack of positivity maybe could even like give someone mental illness. I mean, I think it is a mental illness. I think chronic negativity is a mental illness. It probably even manifests itself as like an imbalance in brain chemicals, you know. And I can't stress enough the power of positivity, right? And that's why I find it interesting to make this video and say that, like, I'll bitch and moan for like a couple of hours in the morning. And I feel it's really important for me to say that, you know, there's a balance. There is a balance there. For me, anyway. And like I say, I'm only going on what happened yesterday and what happened today. I mean, yesterday I had 2 hours negativity, right? And then like I say, what happens is I can feel it in my mind where my mind is starting to perceive things actually, that negativity is actually real and that things are not as good. I can feel the tide turning, the tide turning. I can feel my mind changing the way that it sees reality, and I will stop. So, oh, I'm really shaking here. So yesterday, 2 hours negativity, and then a full day, I'm not fucking with you here, a full day of pretty much staying fully present, you know, just listening to everything, being mindful, listening to sounds, sensations, you know, I'm trying to be as truthful as I can here in exactly how I dealt, you know, how I dealt yesterday. I just stayed present. I just stayed present all day. Everybody knows what present is. It's when, like, you're not running your mind, you know. So that's pretty much. I know it's a long video. It's a video I have felt very passionate about. But I do want to stress this is just today and yesterday that I'm talking about. And a lot of my videos are like that, you know. I learn things. I'll go. I'm really shaking. It happens sometimes. I'll go for a period of like, you know, this has happened before. I went through a period of like 3 days, and me as a person changed 110% in like 3 days. you know, and I made a YouTube video and I, you know, said what those changes in me psychologically were. But like, I'm pretty much done here. You know, I'm just going to finish the mukbang. So if you're only here for the message, then, you know, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to finish my fruit. I've got like, don't know if you can see, just a few bits left. Yeah. So I love to get across a really strong message, you know. I do. I like to express myself. I like to say how I use my mind, you know, how I deal, you know, because everybody, it's all over the internet. You've got all this self-help, you know, and people are saying all kinds of things, all kinds of ways of coping with life, you know. I mean, for a good example is Teal Swan, who says that, you know, I've read her book, Completion Process, and I'm reading her Anatomy of Loneliness at the moment as well. But like, she says to go into a trigger. Personally, I don't do that. I don't go into triggers. I'll go in, if I'm feeling emotional, you know, if I'm feeling really sad, you know, I'll go into it if I know that it's not going to trigger me. If I know that I'm safe from a trigger, I will go into my emotions, you know. But I won't snap, you know. I won't feel into, I mean, I had to put this. I think I've said enough, to be honest. People on the internet are open, and that makes me want to be open about how I deal, you know. And that kiwi was a bit underripe. I just, while I've got just a couple of pieces of fruit left, I just want to talk about anger. Now, for me, anger is separate to negativity and positivity. When I feel anger, I just feel it, you know. This is the latest thing that I'm into. I'm trying to like move my legs because, like I say, one thigh is longer than the other. With anger, I just feel it, you know. Just because I'm angry doesn't mean I have to do anything or say anything. You know, it is just a feeling. I can just feel it, you know. And yes, it does affect my body language, but it not in a way that would offend anyone, you know. So there's that as well. And with that, I would say my video is pretty much complete. So yeah, there you have it. I'd like to thank my subscribers for watching. It means a lot to me to have, if I can do it without fruit juice dribbling down my chin, it means a lot to me that people, I take it to mean, right, that people relate, you know, and that makes me feel very good. So I'd like to thank my subscribers. You watching, you're dope as fuck. You are dope as fuck. You are. I've got one piece of fruit left. I love you. Goodbye. 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 I love you. Goodbye.